let's just say this week has been a whirlwind of events, starting off with the earthquake and the solar eclipse, and don't even get me started with Mercury retrograde. The girlies know what I'm talking about. It seems like nothing else has been exciting around here. What's next? Aliens? But anyways, let's see what the people have to think when the sun decided to turn off. Featuring images by Jamie. Oh. Oh wow. Okay, look at that sun. Oh, that's nice. Nice. But even better is our very own Ryu, who went all the way to Ohio to see the solar eclipse in person. Let's see what she has to capture.
Last Monday, I asked Professor Rue, do we have class next week? And she said, why wouldn't we? And I said, because it's Eclipse Day! But she has since informed me that Kean is not one of the many institutions that recognizes Eclipse Day as a day to take off, so I told her, mark me absent in advance, because I will be in Texas!
This ain't Texas.
No, I didn't go to Texas, even though the entire internet said it would be the best eclipse watching spot, which, spoiler alert, I couldn't imagine the eclipse being more beautiful than where I actually went to see it. I went to the not-so-graceful but existing state of Ohio, which is roughly 8 hours and 9 minutes away from Kean, just for reference. Home of not the Garden State, but the Polaris Parkway, and this sign. So, that's nice. Of course, it wouldn't be eclipse hunting without listening to Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler 1,000,001 times. She would have loved the numbers that we gave her. It's an 8-hour drive, so me and my parents rotated when it came to driving. I drove a little over 2 hours, and of course, I streamed the Cowboy Carter album the whole time, which was
This ain't Texas.
pretty great. I know if you're watching this, it's probably too late, and maybe you're already blind, but please don't look at the sun with your bare eyes. As you can see, we have the glasses specifically made for eclipse watching. Got a lens for the camera to not destroy my phone. And we even still had the visors from the 2017 eclipse, which is honestly a really cool timeless souvenir. With that out of the way, I am currently writing this script while on the way to Englewood, Ohio, because Professor Gilly texted me and said that if I didn't make a vlog about this, I would be kicked from the university. I'm kidding, of course. She only said something along those lines. So we're headed to the Walmart Superstore of Englewood to sit down our lawn chairs and watch the eclipse, which Walmart may sound random, but it's where we saw the eclipse last time in 2017, so family tradition at this point. So we get there and park until we realize we're basically going to be sitting ducks for about 2 hours. So we decided to go to this cafe that was only 5 minutes away called Cafe 19. If you're in Ohio, it's a must-go. I got a chai and this really cool French toast sandwich which had pink strawberry cream cheese filling. They also made and sold their own merch there, so I found this super cool keychain that had the name of the cafe and the date of the eclipse on it. And I also made sure it had a purple tassel since that's the College of Liberal Arts color. At least at Kean it is. I don't know about anywhere else. They also had these cool cups, and this one cowboy one kind of reminded me of.
This ain't Texas.
I ended up getting this eclipse shirt because why not? It's pretty cool. So it has the date on it, it also says eclipse, and I made sure that it was Kean blue. At the cafe, we found out that all of the locals were going to the local park to watch the eclipse, so we almost debated if we should break tradition and go there. But then we realized something wonderful. We realized if we went to the park to watch the eclipse with the locals, we would have had our vision obstructed by tall and woody trees. And the good thing about Walmart is that they have no regard for nature whatsoever. So the closest thing to nature we found was this disgusting, yet aesthetically pleasing patch of weeds that we did end up watching the eclipse on. No vision obstructed, as you will soon see. Thank you, Walmart parking lot. Turns out there was only enough lawn chairs for my parents, so I was on the floor a short while. But then my brother bought us chairs from the Walmart, so thanks, Liam. Then I decided to explore the Walmart a bit because we had the time, in hopes that maybe I'd find an I'd Survive Ohio shirt or just some, I don't know, Ohio merch. So now the eclipse was finally starting, and the eclipse lasted 43 minutes in Ohio, and I recorded every second of those 43 minutes, and I also edited it down to a time lapse of 45 seconds for your enjoyment. So enjoy the eclipse in Ohio from Kean. So that was the eclipse from Ohio. It was absolutely stunning. I have no idea what the view was like from Kean, but here it was from Ohio. And I do have to admit, even though I did wear the glasses for the entirety of the 43 minutes, I did end up burning my eyes out and getting a horrible headache. But it's okay, because I told Professor Gilly, and her words of kindness and nurturing nursed me back to health and fruition. So the eclipse happened, the sun did not explode, the world did not end, and yes, we still have to go to classes tomorrow at Kean University, which I know a lot of you are upset about, even though we pay a good amount to go there. So I'm coming back to Kean to work on all those missing assignments from eclipse hunting. I'll see you all on the university very soon. If you're coming to the social media expo on the 11th, I'll see you even sooner because I'll be there with Professor Gilly. This is RKC, and I'm signing out. Enjoy this video of us crossing West Virginia while listening to Country Road Take Us Home.
West Virginia.
This ain't Texas. Ain't no hope.
A total eclipse of the heart.
Look at Ryu, so inspirational. Thank you. Next up, we have one of our favorites from Kean TV, Mini Movies with Matt, where Matt will be talking about paranoia thrillers with special guest Kevin Cruz. Speaking of paranoia, just kidding.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another installment of Mini Movies with Matt, or as we like to call it, Triple M. I'm your host, Matt Trello, and today I'm here with a very special guest, the one, the only, Kevin Cruz.
Hello. Hello.
So glad to finally have you on the show, Kevin.
Thank you, Matt. I'm glad to be here.
I wish it was a full-length episode, but, time ain't on our side.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
So I wanted to use this little small episode to discuss 3 movies that I showed during my monthly movie screenings. 3 that you yourself told me that you were very attached to, that you really loved. And they all have like a similar theme, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, and those 3 movies are Francis Ford Coppola's The Conversation, Brian De Palma's Blowout, and Martin Scorsese's After Hours. 3 new Hollywood film directors, all with films about like paranoia, isolated people like dealing with the madness of life, all that good stuff. So,
yeah.
So, what made you love each of these films?
What made me love those 3 films definitely had to be how it forces you to be in the mind of these characters. More specifically, like, what is possibly going through their head, through their mind, was like, what are they possibly thinking? And the directors were able to depict that anxiety so well that it just really hooked me.
Particularly on Conversation and Blowout, the sound design was very crucial because those 2 films specifically are about like people that record others. Of course, one is basically recording other people's conversations, hence the title of the movie. And then Blowout, John Travolta plays this like sound designer for a Hollywood studio, and he just unintentionally catches a murder happening while he's recording sounds for a horror film.
And you know what I think's so funny about John Travolta's character, in that he would it be like a bit of a spoiler if I were to say it? Or like,
if it's like a big spoiler,
I don't think so.
Towards the end,
it's more of like a really like type of thing.
All right.
Yeah, because it's like,
be as vague as possible.
Okay, he witnesses the car accident and he checks up on the victim and he's like, "Can I take you out on a date?" Like, dude, are you serious? Like,
well, that's just 80s for you.
Yeah.
What would you say about After Hours? What makes it like similar but different?
What makes After Hours similar and different to, I'm assuming, The Conversation and Blowout, would definitely have to be a character that definitely has more personality. And I think of The Conversation, think of the anxiety of these like conversation and Blowout, but times 10. That there's always something happening every 5 minutes, and I'm not too sure if this is like a term, but like I think it's called like hide the gun or something like that, where it's like they show something in the beginning, don't talk about it.
Chekhov's gun.
Yeah, Chekhov's gun. Don't talk about it at all, and then it'll be utilized at some other point. That happens so often in the after hours, and it's almost like I'm sort of surprised on why I wasn't expecting these like turn of events, but they would happen, and every time it'd be like, oh, like, are you serious?
It's like After Hours is very good at like setting up Chekhov's guns, like little details that like
very, very little details that will become almost like the main catalyst.
Either like a punchline or it becomes like a crucial to the end.
Yeah.
Also, After Hours takes place in one night.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Like, how did they do it? Like, what?
After Hours, a movie that shows you why you should never go to New York at night.
Oh my god. Where did it take place in New York?
I think it was Soho.
Soho?
Yeah.
Don't ever go to Soho at night. I think like just recently New York has been like very chaotic lately. So
what would you say out of the three which one did you prefer in terms of direction? So you had Coppola for Conversation, De Palma for Blowout, and Scorsese for After Hours.
I would say in the kind of movies that I like, I would say Coppola. Mostly because it's like very slow, and it's like a slow burn, and you can feel it and you can see it, and those are the kind of movies that I normally gravitate towards.
Fun fact, did you know Coppola released both this and Godfather 2 in the same year?
Really?
Yeah.
Banger after banger, dude.
And this was all after the original Godfather, so that's
wow.
3 for 3. If you had to rank all three, just in terms of your enjoyment.
Okay. First would have to be The Conversation. I'm sorry, but when I first saw that, I was really taken aback. Like, I was amazed. And the second would have to be Blowout. And the third would have to be After Hours. And the reason why After Hours is third is because I found myself being more frustrated than actually enjoying the film. And I want to enjoy the film, but I also understand that sometimes directors that was their entire objective. That was their entire point. To like,
you're enjoying it by being frustrated. You're enjoying it.
What do you mean?
Or it's like you're enjoying the movie because like you're so with the character because you're frustrated along with him.
No, it was more or less like being frustrated with the world that he's in, and also him, because he made some decisions that were like, are you serious? Like, there was a clearly better option.
Yeah,
and he chose differently.
As for my ranking, I go on a similar thing, except I switch Blowout and Conversation.
Okay.
It'll go Blowout, Conversation, and After Hours, but they're all amazing. Like, yeah. But the first two I have like 5 stars too, and After Hours gets a.
I think I also gave The Conversation and Blowout.
Conversation is very meticulous in its craft.
Very.
Blowout is very showy, but I think that's why I like it. De Palma is very good at, because you clearly tell he was influenced by Hitchcock. Like he knows his way around a thriller. And this Blowout feels like an 80s Hitchcock thriller. In all the best ways. And there's a car chase.
Yeah. And he crashes.
Yeah.
And, dude, he got a blowout. That was crazy.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for being on the show, Kevin.
Thank you for having me here, man.
Yeah. Always good to have a guest on the show.
Long time
And thank you all for joining in to Mini Movies with Matt, or Triple M. And we'll see you next time.
M.
Watch more movies.
Watch more movies.
M for movies.
M for movies.
Mini Movies with Matt. Gotta love them. Welcome spring. Hello, Mia's garden. Let's see what plant she introduces to us today. Welcome to Mia's garden. We're live from Costa Rica.
Just kidding, we're not live. So if y'all want to be real quick before we start, just kidding, we're not live. We have the peacock flower, and this flower might just have more to offer than your ex-boyfriend. It gives you beauty, food, and Plan B, if that's what you're looking for. The original origin of this plant is a mystery because of how widely spread it was cultivated. But it's natively found in Mexico, Central and South America, and the Caribbean. It thrives in tropical temperatures, and it's also the national flower of Barbados. The peacock flower's fruits as a pea pod, which is actually edible as long as you remove the seeds themselves first. This is because the peas contain tannic acid, which, if ingested, just messes with your stomach a little bit, but I'm sure y'all with IBS would not even be able to tell. If ingested in large quantities, it acts as an abortifacient and can actually cause a miscarriage if you're pregnant. This was actually the reason it was used in traditional medicine by Indians during Dutch presence and enslaved people from Guinea and Angola during the 17th century. Instead of fearing for their future children's well-being, the choice was sometimes made to abort. While this is a commonly found ornamental plant, many are ignorant to the history behind it. This plant grows best in zones 9 and 11 as an evergreen shrub, and can also be grown in zones 8 but only as a perennial. Just like most of us, when it gets a little too cold, we like to hide, or get seasonally depressed, but I'm not too sure if plants feel that too. Lucky for them, I guess. Pretty little flowers like Penelope have no trouble catching people's eyes. Some color cocky, some color toxic, but only real ones know she's a woman of worth. She only attracts the baddest of bad. Bees, butterflies, hummingbirds, you name it, she got it. A plant of many talents. She knows her fruits are a little crazy, but isn't that everyone? Her stamens grow long, looking like luscious red locks y'all always wish to have. Giving off a tropical upbeat wave, her favorite song at the moment is Superstar by Holly Cook. She listens while life dances around her.
Long ago, and oh so far away, I fell in love with you.
You got me working like a dog!
What a beaut. Thank you, Mia. For our last segment, a short film by Armani called Limerence. We really suggest you grab a box of tissues for this one. Thank you. Let's see it.
What is limerence? Limerence means having an intense longing for another person, even when they don't fully reciprocate that. The limerent person struggles to think about anything else but their quote-unquote crush. It's kind of like getting too close to a fire. You know it's going to burn you, but it looks nice and you're cold. Limerence is when you desire someone so much that any interaction with them, even if it's just for a second, can derail your entire day. Limerence is when you think about past encounters with that person and pick at any possible sign that there could be something, knowing that there isn't anything. If you replace the word with delusion, then you probably wouldn't be too far off. The difference with delusion and limerence, though, is that with limerence, you are aware of the madness in your head, yet you don't care. Because this person is the end-all be-all. It's an obsession. Imagine being stuck with everything around you still going on. No matter what you do, you can't move. You can't stop thinking about them. It's beautiful in a way. Beautiful that someone can think that much of a person. And tragic. Tragic in a way that someone can just not.
Well, thank you guys for watching. Contact us on Instagram with any upcoming events at Kean TV. And that's all we have for today, folks. Catch you next time.